Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rise of the Phoenix. I was going to continue with my equipment slash commander itemization guides, but NetEase dropped a new patch yesterday. So the date of recording this video is May 12th. They dropped a patch on May 11th that is going to have all accounts after Season 2 go to back end. I've had a number of questions from members of my fellowship, as well as people on my Season 2 server, saying, like, how does it work? What does that mean? What are we going to do? So I figured I would make a quick video that explains to the best of my knowledge what bag end is and how it works. Before we get into that, if you enjoy my content, please do consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel. Welcome back, everyone. So first, let's talk about what is bag end. So before they created bag end, anytime you ended a season, there would be like a 1 to 2 day downtime between seasons where they would merge servers together based on the start date and end date of those servers. I think they had some other analytics that went into it as well, like player population and activity, or at least I think they said they did. And then you would immediately jump into the next season with that merged server. So bag end is basically a lobby. I've heard it called like a purgatory. I think Randy from RTS Mobile called it purgatory. I think I prefer the term lobby. It's like a lobby between seasons. So there's some advantages and disadvantages to the system, in my opinion. I'll probably make a different video talking about those. In this video, I just want to focus on what it is and how it works. So think of it like a lobby. So if you play, for example, Dota or League, between games, you're in some sort of lobby, and then you queue up for a game and the game starts, and then you play the game itself, and then you go back into the lobby. This is kind of like that. So what can you do in bag end? Well, the store is active and you can open chests if you want to. You can recruit commanders. That is all active as well. You have access to good and evil commanders in bag end, since you can sign up as good or evil for your campaigns, which we'll talk about in a minute. You can also do the red book challenges, which are very nice, because you can earn a coin every few days. So if you're waiting between seasons or taking a break from the game, I would definitely suggest hopping into bag end and collecting some gems and coins every few days. So the real meat and potatoes, as they say, of what bag end is actually lies with the campaign functionality. So I'll go ahead and click on that there. Every so often, you're allowed to register for campaign. So campaign is their new term for what we would know as seasons. There are 2 types of campaigns that they have currently available. I believe they're going to add more over time, so this is kind of where one good aspect of bag end comes in. Right now, we have Rebuilding Glory, which is just like Season 1 and Season 2 with a few additional mechanics, but it's the same idea, in that you fight over control of Dol Guldur, you fight over control of the ring. One thing I definitely want to point out is this is not a roleplay campaign. There is no more option, unfortunately, in my opinion. There is no more option to play this campaign as roleplay. So what that means is any faction can use any commander and any units. So it's just always going to be standard servers in this particular campaign. Hopefully, eventually they'll add it back. Maybe they won't. I don't know. I would really like to see that. And then we have the War of the Ring. This is the newest campaign. And this is where you basically, if you're on the good side, you're all on one team. You are escorting Frodo across the map, following the journey like from the books and the movies. If you're on the evil side, you're trying to stop that from happening. And this campaign is roleplay only, so the exact opposite of the one we just talked about. Good factions can only use good units and commanders. Evil factions can only use evil units and commanders. The major twist in this campaign, besides the victory objective, is that good and evil are just against each other always. So like in Season 1 or Season 2, if you're playing, let's say, Erebor, and you want to ally with Mordor, you're allowed to do that. I mean, you can't officially do it in the game, but the leaders can reach out to each other and work together. And in the War of the Ring, you can't do that, because if evil allies with good, then good is just going to win, because they're going to get Frodo to the destination, and that's that. So do keep that in mind if you are registering for the War of the Ring. There aren't really any more factions in Lord of the Rings. In War of the Ring. It's really just good versus evil role play only. All right, so another advantage that is also kind of a drawback that I'll talk about in a different video. Let's just go to Rebuilding Glory here. So the way that they're handling the new servers is you have a certain amount of time once the campaign starts. Once you're allowed to register for the campaign, you have a certain amount of time to register, and you can form a team with your friends, hopefully. The problem is, and I'll talk about this in a different video, like I said, the teams are limited to 100 players. So if you're the leader of a fellowship or a warband, you can go ahead and click register and then do team registration. You will be given a team ID. Provide that to the people you want to play with. They can request to join, or they can just find you on the list. Rebuilding Glory doesn't have a very long list. The other campaign actually does have quite a long list. So you'll probably just want to give them the ID instead. And it'll show you what the start date of that campaign is. So the benefit of this is it should make it easier for groups to stick together between seasons, because you'll have some amount of time where you can gather all of your players into one group. You pick your campaign, when it's going to start, and then once it starts, it just drops you in. Kind of one of the drawbacks is, let's say you have more than 100 people that you want to play with. As far as I know, you cannot guaranteed land those 2 or 3 teams, however many you have, in the same server anymore. Whereas before, you were just all moving into one server as one big group. Now it's limited to 100. One other benefit I would like to throw out real quick, and I'll talk about it in more detail in my video that's going to talk about kind of the pros and cons of this, is that now you're not necessarily going to be stuck with the same players. If you had a really bad experience on one of your servers because there are some players that were just bullies or toxic or whatever, now going into future campaigns, I almost had seasons there, they could wind up on one server, you could wind up on a different server, so you're not necessarily going to meet the same people. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. So overall, I think as they add, and hopefully they're going to add more campaigns, I really think they will. As they add more campaigns, I think the big benefit of this is going to allow players to pick the way that they want to play the game. There's going to be some people that just want to do the role play thing, escort Frodo across the map. If that's what they have the most fun with, awesome, they can play that. If there's other people that really want to get into the nitty-gritty politics and the intrigue and the Game of Thrones, where's my air quotes, Game of Thrones style, like backstabbing and betrayal, well, then they can play Rebuilding Glory, and it'll be kind of cool to see what other game modes they come out with. I'm sure I'm going to try each one at least once, and then just see what my group likes the best. What do I like the best? So overall, I think with a few changes, this could actually be a pretty cool system. The other really nice thing is, real quick, so I don't want this video to go too long, since you can stay in Bag End for as long as you want, let's say that May the 17th is like your mom's birthday or something, and you can't play, or in the case of my original season 2, it started literally at like 2 a.m. on Christmas Eve or something like that. If that's not a good time for you, you can just wait until the next time comes up. That way, hopefully you'll have a little bit more control over when your seasons start, as the early points in those seasons are very, very important. All right, that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something useful. Let me know what you think about Bag End down in the comment section below. I'll catch you in the next one. Rise of the Phoenix, over and out.